From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New Orleans Saints. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
All right, I knew I forgot to ask a question when we sat with the coaches about just how aggressive will you be bringing a ball out of the end zone, and what's the green light for your returner? In this case, it should have been a red light. Should have stayed in the end zone.
Terrible pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They're throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Eluding the pressure right. On the screen, this is Eckler. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
3rd and 4. Jackson now. That's caught, and it's Eckler again. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here we go. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That too.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. Look at this Baltimore defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only week one, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
At 5 yards on the play there, it's a drive will continue. The Saints had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Off play action. Westbrook. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. To throw on 3rd down. Westbrook. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Well, this defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen. Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Watch out now. 50.
Off the play fake. Westbrook. And this throw will be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. It's Eckler again. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And he will have a Ravens 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Jackson sliding out of the pocket. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage. Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On second down, Eckler, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Sometimes your crossings get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. Jackson. They'll roll him out right. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 1. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Jackson to throw. Throw caught by Flowers. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Ready, break.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Now second and 3.
Ready.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offense coordinator and quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
97.
Off play action. Westbrook. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon, as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a fourth down.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Here's a 2nd and 5. To throw is Jackson. And it's intercepted. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing to start the drive. Westbrook, and he fires one incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable, or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
On 2nd down, Kamara. And down to the 36-yard line here. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And now this ball picked up in the end zone. Remember, this is a live ball. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That ball caught by Campbell. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Just one field goal and a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. The fair catch taken short of the goal line, and they'll begin this 3rd quarter at their own 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. Now this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Throwing is Jackson. His throw incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
4th down, here's Jackson. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Ravens first down, it would appear. Yes, he does by a full yard. They get the conversion on 4th and 2. Now Jackson. Slant pass hauled in by Campbell. And he's got this down to the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. Now it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he'll get this down inside the 20. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Paris Campbell. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
They run it again with Kamara. And it's a fumble. Well, it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a first down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
This is a counter play, Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Back to throw. Jackson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Isaiah Foskey brings him down. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Ready.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
To throw on 2nd down, Westbrook. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Justin Madubuike able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Westbrook under pressure, and they got to him again. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Hey, Alpha, it's hot. Report.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way in.
Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack.
Ravens 19, Saints nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Ready.
They run. It's Kamara. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Now Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up third down. On third down, Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Up the middle with Eckler, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 114 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Baltimore, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.